India, once the jewel in the British Empire, now a booming independent democratic republic with the world's third largest economy. 1 minute, let's start from the beginning. Hi, it's David. I'm going to show you what I experienced traveling to India on my architectural trip. We travelled to India from the UK and landed in New Delhi, the national capital of India, which has more than twice the population of London at 21.8 million people. The streets were packed with people as we made our way through the marketplaces to get mini taxis to our hotel in the capital. The next day we visited the Red Fort, which is a historic fortress in Delhi, which served as the main residence of emperors. We then took a tour of the surroundings of the Indian government buildings, which is also the residence of the president. After spending 2 nights at the hotel, we then took a sleeper train to the city of Chandigarh, the capital of 2 neighbouring states of Punjab and Haryana. Located in the north of India, the city has a population of 1.1 million people and was designed mainly by the Swiss-French architect Le Corbusier. Le Corbusier was employed in 1951 to design the master plan and the government buildings, while his cousin Pierre Jeanneret and wife, in collaboration with Maxwell Fry and Jane Drew, were responsible for much of Chandigarh's large civic architecture projects, from the schools to residential buildings. The city was revolutionary at the time as it was designed in a grid layout with roads and roundabouts connecting all parts of the grid. Each rectangle was designed to be self-sufficient communities with schools and medical facilities and shops, etc. The city was designed like a body, with the administration buildings at the top representing the head, and the organs, hands and feet represented by factories, entertainment centres and transport facilities, etc. The administrative capital complex buildings, made of concrete, are the 3 most iconic buildings in the city, consisting of the Palace of Assembly, the Secretariat, and the High Court. We spent the rest of the trip in Chandigarh before we took a flight back to the UK. Wow, that was an amazing trip to India. So I'll just run through key facts about the trip. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions about me traveling to India and what I experienced as well. So I traveled to India during my degree to actually visit the city of Chandigarh, designed by Le Corbusier. And it was a fantastic trip. It was once in a lifetime, but I'll probably, in the future, hopefully go back there again. So how much did the actual trip cost? It cost £1,500, and that covered the flight, 2 hotels that we stayed in, food, spending money, and access to venues, and a bit more in terms of security and so forth. That's actually quite cheap, actually, when you think about it. And it was actually that price because I was a student at the time when I traveled there. So how long was the flight to India? So we traveled from the UK to New Delhi in India, and that was a 9-hour flight. We did get to eat during the flight as well. And it was, it was all right. It wasn't too bad, actually. I'd recommend actually sleeping on the plane, purely because your body will need to adjust to the time zone when you get to India as well. So you either sleep on the plane or sleep when you actually get there. So you adjust to actually it being nighttime there versus it being daytime in the UK. So how long was the trip? So the trip actually was for 1 week, approximately, not including the days that we flew in and flew out. And we didn't stay in one city. We went from New Delhi all the way to Chandigarh. We spent a bit of time in each city, but it was just an amazing trip, and I'm so happy that we were able to fit so much within that trip. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe down below. Leave a like and comment. Every comment and like really helps me know that you want to see more content. Thanks. So who did I go on a trip with? So I actually went on a trip with 2 of my lecturers and a group of my classmates, which actually made the trip really fun, especially when it's, a new country and you've never been there before. It's always good to actually have other people that have either been there or just a group of people so you're all, in the same boat. Would I travel to India again? Absolutely, yes. I'm kind of nervous because I really liked when I went with the school because it really helped that the university lecturers, had been there before and they actually had a lot of knowledge on all the buildings there. So when we went around, they were kind of giving us feedback on different buildings that we were, invited to go into and so forth. If I was to go by myself, there's a lot of kind of self-learning. There won't be a bigger group. It'll probably be me and someone else or me by myself. So I think it's something I definitely want to do, but, not anytime soon. So why we went to India as part of a university trip. So actually, as part of the process of becoming an architect, when you do your degree, your master's, they usually offer you for the degree, for the 3 years that you're there, you usually get offered about 3 trips around the world. Sometimes it might be Scotland, sometimes it might be Europe, sometimes it might be in America, sometimes it might be Asia, and so forth. Depends what studio you're in, but usually there's about 4 studios and they kind of, each lecturer will have, their idea for the studio, and they'll say, okay, I want us to focus on making concrete buildings. The best place to to actually learn how that was done successfully is to potentially travel to India. Or they might say, I really want you to understand how to use bamboo. So the best place to actually go to is to go to Japan or China. So it just depends on what the direction of the studio is. But the idea is to take you on trips to actually visit iconic buildings to improve kind of your learning experience during the degree, which basically made the degree really worth it for me, actually. Thank you so much for watching this far. If you have any questions about the trip or any recommendations for new videos I should make about architecture or products and so forth, leave a comment down below and I'll definitely look to make a video on that topic.